How did you meet each other?
We knew each other when we were kids, just hanging out in different
You grew up in the same neighborhood.
crew. Well, I hung out in his neighborhood.
Were you
and
on Kenmay or
I was on
Kenmay?
Kenmay.
I was on Prince and Elizabeth and Spring Street. Kenmay was like another country in a way, not a country, another little village in a way, and with different groups. But then we lost track, I think.
Yeah.
Brian De Palma put us back together again at Jay Cox and Verna's apartment. And after dinner, he said, "I know you're so-and-so, and you used to hang out with so-and-so and so-and-so." Then I recognized him.
So I told you how much I liked Who's That Knocking?
Yeah, and you understood it because you knew some of the characters it's based on.
Yeah.
So basically, he's the only one over the years that knows where I came from and whom I knew and knows that world, and that led to the pictures we made.
I remember seeing you. You were doing work with Brian.
Yeah, I
Is
was
he-
doing those movies with Brian.
And I remember seeing you on 14th Street, and I said, that kid's got charisma. I remember saying that.
We were young.
If he saw him on 14th Street in 1969, Francis Coppola told me I was having dinner at my mother and father's apartment on Elizabeth Street. He said, I'm casting The Godfather, and said, I have this guy to play Michael, who's this young guy. He's really great. His name's Al Pacino. And so Francis then took me to the Village to see this play called Rats.
The one I directed.
You directed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I met you that night. Israel Horowitz, right?
Yeah, Israel Horowitz.
It was terrific. And it was that's the first time I met you.
Yeah.
So since then, we'd sort of crossing paths for years. But Joe was in I'd say 77 maybe, because you saw Joe in...
The Death
The
Collector.
Death Collector. The director was Ralph DeVito.
Ralph
DeVito wrote it and directed it.
These were kind of New Jersey B films.
It's like Mean Streets sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Copy on it, I think.
How long was it before you got together with this for The Irishman?
Casino was 22 years.
22 years.
22. We were thinking of doing something like careers, motion picture careers, that sort of thing.
But then we were always talking about The Bad and the Beautiful, I think.
Yeah, we got hung up on The Bad and the Beautiful in 2 weeks in another town.
We were going to do
Minnelli.
Scarface for a while, too.
Yeah,
I remember that. But this, I heard you paint houses. That is an amazing book. Really, it's a page turner.
But I read the book a long time ago.
You had
The
read
guy
it.
brought it to me on the golf course.
That's interesting.
And the guy even told me that. He said, you guys are going to make this movie someday. I said, yeah, good, okay, bye. And then it came,
Well, I thought the same thing too, in a way. We were talking about doing a film about our careers and life and working in Hollywood, how people change, and the Cannes Festival and all that.
Right.
And I wasn't really the original intent of us getting back together and working again.
We had the reading of The Irishman.
That was
good.
nice. That was a good one. That was kind of funny. It was like I was in the middle of. I actually joined in.
I was going like this, and I said, what are you looking for? You're dead.
Well, I said maybe I'd come back.
No,
She
you're
was
out.
going
You're
like
out.
this. What are you
Relax.
doing? That was funny. I'll never forget that.
That was a good experience. It was kind of had a life to it.
Yeah,
so it took
no,
off.
it was great.
It had a life to it.
Yeah.
It really did. Say how long it is. Did you think about that at all in structure and how long is the film?
Yeah.
Today's audiences and the venues, they see these films. It's all changing. We're in the biggest revolution since the advent of sound in 1927. I just took a chance. I said, you can't make it for this specific venue. I said, let's make it. Netflix was the place that came up with the money to go all this way. And so I must say, no creative interference. Because that's the most important thing.
Right.
You sink or swim, but at least you've done it yourself. And you forget about the unions and what it took to get working guys a decent pay.
He says took 13 stitches in the head.
In the head, yeah.
17 years old he was when he
Yeah.
started it. He was Martin Luther King. He was for.
He was there.
He was
Yeah.
a real
He
radical.
just got mad at one point with the whole thing with the Kennedys, and then you do that scene where you say, he's never going to forgive me for giving money to Nixon. Oh, my God, what did you got yourself into? You blocked yourself in. Any move you make, it's a disaster. And the character, the way it's played, I'm going to be fine. But that look, he's not going to be fine. The way than we normally...
See me play?
Yeah.
He told me. You're not going to be like the gangsters you always play.
But it's so great to work with you guys because knowing that you and I had, believe it or not, never worked together.
I know.
You and I never
We
worked
never
together.
worked
But
together.
Bob and I made a couple of things together. You know how it is when you first start a movie, and I said to Marty and to Bob, look, the guys, maybe I'll just say certain things.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get alive here. I want to be at least alive in the scene.
Because we worked together, and you wanted to...
And he said, yes, it'll be little you know, interesting in the editing room.
Yes, it
You know,
was. It was.
It was.
But the thing is, you know, I just had to wait until you got up to speed,
Custom.
Yeah.
however you were going, and then wow, it went in. I saw that was it. Clicked, and that was the end. That's it.
What do you mean you don't rehearse? Because he likes to do
Well, Cindy,
everything like
you
a
rehearse,
play,
rehearse,
you know,
rehearse.
play.
Do one take and you're out.
Yeah.
He's right. So
Yeah,
yeah,
when I did early movies with Sidney, you'd go there and I would rehearse 3 weeks.
that's it's like theaters.
And what he
It's-
would
yeah.
do, because the movies shoot out of sequence,
I
so but
understand.
he would just go all the way through, so you knew sort of where you were at every
That's
you know what I
interesting,
mean?
yeah, it's
So
nice,
that was,
but-
but that's not how you came about.
No,
that
I
wasn't
came
your
out-
source.
We
of
came
it.
out of Cassavetes and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah,
Kazan.
of course,
We
yeah.
read the stuff together. We've read together. We read together, just going over
Yeah.
things and whole scripts, just to change things or whatever.
Like 3 lines in, he'd stop.
But we never rehearsed.
He'd stop and argue and
And there
discuss.
was one point.
And sometimes you'd rehearse right on
At
screen.
one point when we
Yeah.
were making a movie,
Yeah.
he said to me, "What did you say there?" I said, no, that's not what you changed it to. You changed it.
Oh yeah, I like your
to
original.
this. I
your
like your
original
original.
impulse was better.
I said, but I thought it was different. He said, no. I
No,
want
no,
you
no,
to,
this is
this
better.
is what you said here.
Yeah.
So that's the way we did things, you know, and then we would just do it. I mean, but there was no rehearsal.
Is that Joe? Is that an old film of Joe's? But it's Joe, and he's 60. There was something in the very essence of the film that just looked like this is something new.
We've accepted certain looks in makeup, like when Dustin Hoffman did Little Big Man, remember?
Yeah.
And everybody knew that was makeup, but they knew it was Dustin, they knew it was the character. Then you had like John Hurt in Elephant Man. He's in there somewhere. He's still doing it, he's in there. So what's the difference ultimately when you could use the CGI as makeup?
Yeah, that was the big turn.
We did it in such a way. Yes, it was a little confusing with the several cameras and the lenses.
It's the other thing, all the cameras
Remember
we
the
had,
cameras?
We had to work for 9 million cameras. I mean, we like to use 2 cameras when we work all
So
the
we
time.
did 2 cameras, imagine.
And then with all
Add
of the
that.
other stuff, it's crazy. He said, well, don't look in the camera. I said, well, which camera? There's got 12 cameras out here.
No, there were
because
3
the
lenses on
CGI
each camera.
Well,
Which
that's
lens?
what it was. And you said, you look like you're looking all around. I said, well, I don't know where to look. I'm walking. I don't want to look in any of those
Well, then I
lenses.
got in there and I saw your problem. You know, as I say, it was like walk across the screen. It's hard.
Yeah, I
to
mean-
be, you know, you're walking. You know, I say, wait a minute, am I walking right?
If you're
You know?
walking towards a camera and you don't
And
want to
I'm
look in the
looking.
lens.
Say, for instance, we went off a little bit, and we're looking like 65 instead of 50.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
they can adjust.
Yes, yeah.
Can't fit your acting, though.
No, that's
The
a,
acting. That's.
we can't fix that. That's sorry.
We live in hope.
I know. I mean, the first day of shooting with Al. Now here's Al. I first met him with Francis Coppola, and we never worked on a film together. So first day of shooting with him, he's watching the Kennedys win the election. He hates them. If there's one, watch this, and he walks away. But he gets up from the chair, right? Okay. And then Rodrigo Prieto is a director of photography, and David Webb, our AD, come up and they say, he's supposed to be 49 in this. He's getting up slowly. I said, you tell him. So I went over and I said, Al, he's got to be 49 in this. And he said, when you're getting up from the chair, it's got to have more. You know what I mean? You're going to go into that kitchen. You're not going to stay in that room, right?
I was doing 51.
Yeah, the next day he yelled, 65. You know? We finally got...
There's one scene where I walked down the stairs and Gary came over. You got to be a little more spry about it, a little more.
Oh, yeah, I
you know.
remember.
And he said, "Let me show you," and he did it, and he was right. You know, I had to
Yeah.
like skip down the steps. You know, not just the way I would do it.
But what's the difference, though?
difference.
Yeah, but what's the difference in like taking that and saying, okay, you're doing Richard III, you're going to have to move a certain way.
That's right.
It's acting. The whole body then has to act. It's extraordinary. It's about behavior. It's how you sit, how you stand. It's how you say hello to somebody, how you digress in a conversation, so to speak.
In another era, too.
Yeah, in a different time, 1950s, 60s.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I know.
These kids
Stephen
jumping on me.
was jumping on him.
Oh, my
Tony Pro
God.
hated him.
The real Tony Pro
real
hated Jimmy
Tony Pro.
Hoffa. Apparently, he just-
He wanted to kill you a million times himself.
Oh,
I don't
God,
think
yes.
Jimmy
Hated
liked
it.
him very much,
No.
did he?
Yeah.
He's saying, no,
They're not gonna-
Jimmy, it's not. That's not going to work. He's made. He says, but you see, you have to understand. I built this thing. I built this thing. This is pure. This is progress. This is visionary. You can't let this little fucker get in the way of what's visionary in him.
He says, I want to clip the motherfucker myself. He says, but I can't.
It's crazy because they're talking about someone's life and killing someone.
No,
you know,
it's a matter in that world. It's a matter of elimination.
That's it.
gotta
He's
go.
in the way.
He's really in the way.
One I know.
Do you think you've gotten better over the years, Marty, at doing it, at your job?
I've done a lot of things over the years, and I had a certain energy and a certain way of thinking and editing and designing edited sequences and that sort of thing.
Do you feel like you've gotten better at that?
No, I
'Cause
think
you
I
don't
think I
question
think it's
yourself.
distilled now. It's distilled and it's a medium shot. It's a close up. But by this point, it was a matter of the essentials. I thought the essentials are the characters. They're the force that drives. It's like a tragic force.
Frank, I'm going to hang up on you now.
I have to find a way not to get in the way of that. And ultimately, every movie you make, you realize you're going into a real learning experience again.
That's another reason to go on and work more. You know, in a lot of ways. This thing, the very technique, of other actors and
Absolutely think so.
actresses.
We'll all be able to act for another 30 years.
Sorry about that, Joe.
I don't think so, Paul.